Okay, welcome to the first of my tutorial series. These are meant to be just quick 5-10 minute tutorials dealing with various aspects of modding Skyrim on PS5. So we are starting with a very basic unmodded game, but with some of my core quality of life mods installed. And these series are going to be basically set around Riverwood because it's a very compact area and it shows us very quickly what differences some of these mods make. So this is, for all intents and purposes, we are in default Skyrim PS5. We have default roads, we have default everything really. I've installed some quality of life mods such as I've got my Nordic UI with Sky UI, and I've installed a different font, and I've installed NLA, Natural Lighting Aesthetica, because we're going to be using that as the basis of a few other things. So just walking around Riverwood, quickly we can see we have default grass and default water, default pretty much everything. So the aim of this video is to quickly show you the best way, the most efficient way to manage adding mods and moving mods around and avoiding any problems and pitfalls that you might have. So let's just go into the main menu and quit out of the game. So we go into the creations menu. When you go into the creations menu, the first thing you must remember is you have to wait for the little spinners to complete fully. In other words, you want all the icons, all the thumbnails, all the images to be loaded. If you go into your loader at this point in time, you're almost guaranteed for things to go wrong. The clue here is on the top right corner of the screen, you will see the number of credits you've got. If you have any credits, when those credits get populated, I think I have about 300, it means you've resynced with your Bethesda account and you're pretty much close to on the way to go. There you go, the credits are there. One thing I do is I turn the music off. As nice as the music is, and Jeremy Soul's score is fantastic, when you're spending this much time on in the creations menu, you really don't want that loop to be going over and over again. Okay, so we've waited till all the icons are displayed, and we are now going to install some mods. We're going to try to improve Riverwood a little bit, and this is just a demo. This is not really creating a load order standby. It's just showing how we deal with things. So one of the first things I can give you in terms of a tip is you go out to Amazon and buy yourself a £5, $5 Cherry USB cable keyboard and a little USB cable extender. And that is going to save you so much time in terms of searching for mods rather than relying on your PS5 controller. So now we're going to install a few mods, and I'm going to show you some tricks here. So we go into search, which is L1, and I've got my keyboard attached. And what do I want to do? I want to add some more trees and a different forest, a few other things. So instead of simply more trees, I'm just going to go SMT, enter on my keyboard, and I have got it straight away. It's up there. Let's install that. And from this screen, you can do another search again. Just press L1 again. Here's an example of brightness. I'm going to use the brightness saturation controller mod. It doesn't display on the first page. Don't be worried about that. Just scroll down. Here it is on the second page, and it's there. I've already got it installed, so we won't do that. We now are going to install Fabled Forest. There are two versions of Fabled Forest. Let's just search on Fabled. And it comes. There is the Fabled Forest PS5, which is 105 meg, or you've got the new revised one, which has been using compression. It's only 36 meg. We're going to install that, and there's a reason for that. So install that. The reason for that is that this version that is using, the textures aren't quite as nice, but it saves you a lot of room, and it also comes with LODs, and LODs help with tree pop-up, etc. So let's just install that 14 meg LOD pop-in add-on for Fatal Forest New. What else do we want in Riverwood? Oh, we want Kato's. So let me just search on Kato's, and it should come up with Kato's Riverwood just on that search. Where is it? Kato's Riverwood PS4. There's no PS5 version, so we used a PS4 version. Remember, if you are on PS5 and there is a PS5 version of any mod, always, without fail, install the PS5 version. Because if you install the PS4 version, you will get bright purple and red flashing textures everywhere. And that's the quickest clue that you've installed the wrong version for PS5. And what else do I want? I want to put some stuff around the road. So let me just go 13's Beaten Path, 223 edition. All I'm typing is 13's. And that didn't work because I put an apostrophe in. Let's do it again. 13's. That didn't work either. Here we go. It is there. But here's a trick. I want to get there straight away. I start remembering clues. And bang, I'm straight into that mod that I want just by using the word beaten. So let's install that. Okay, so let's go back into our load order. And you can see here, I've got my quality of life mods installed. And now we have these new add-ons that we've had installed. Now, the thing to do at this point is when you're in your load order, you must do the following step. And this is so important. You go to the first mod in your load order, and usually it should be Unofficial Skyrim Special Edition Patch, USSSEP. You press the big space bar on your PS5 controller, the big center pad, and you choose Save Load Order to Bethesda.net. Super important you do this every single time. So you get the confirmation dialog. It says OK. You can now exit back to the menu, and it's going to say the game will now reload your data files. What it's going to do, it's going to resync your load order in the way that you've saved it. If you didn't do that save step, it will reload the load order and potentially shuffle them around. So we're now back in the main menu screen. And what we're going to do now is we're going to exit the game and force close the game. And to do that, I can't record this with the built-in PlayStation recording software. So I'm just going to show you a screenshot of what you do. You press the PS button on your controller. You then press go to home, and you'll be sitting over the Skyrim icon. You press the option screen and press close. Now I'm going to show you a screenshot of how to do that. Okay, we have now reloaded Skyrim again after I've shown you the screenshot to force close the game. We're now back in the main menu, and I've turned the main menu music off. Again, Jeremy Seale's music's fantastic, but when we're doing this, we don't want that music blaring in our ears all the time. Now, the logical instinct would be, let's go to continue. Don't do that. Always go to load. There are many times where I've gone to continue, and it's caused the game crash for whatever reason. The safest way until your load order is super stable is to use the load option. So we go into our loads, show all saves, and it's going to show me the save I did just before I went outside earlier in this video. So let's load up the Sleeping Giant Inn. Now, if you've made some changes, it may actually say some are disabled. If that's deliberate, leave them disabled. It may show you new mods that have, but usually if you've added incremental mods, it won't show you anything that's been deleted and warn you about that. But what you should always do is choose the current load order, not the save load order. If you choose the save load order, it's going to omit anything that you've added to your load order in your last session in Creations menu. So always choose current. So now it's loading in the new mods, and we are back in the inn. Now I'm quickly going to go outside and show the differences of what we made with adding those few mods that we did. Okay, so what do we see here? We have Fabled Forest installed. This is the low resolution version, so the bark isn't that great. Everything else is pretty much the same. Everything looks okay. Natural lighting aesthetica is doing its thing with the clear water and the lovely crisp environment. What I might do actually is I might just get the saturation up to what I normally have. So let's go to saturation 1.66, and that's going to give us that lovely EMB style of graphics. Okay, so Fabled Forests are in. And we have simply more trees in as well. So that's giving us very dense forests. So let's now go back into the button there.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire.
So we've
get the cold out.
So we've just confirmed that the mods that we've installed are okay. We're now just going to do a save. Now, here's another tip. Always have more than one save. I tend to have, try that again. I tend to have about 4 saves that I shuffle between, and it also gives you a little bit of insurance. So let's go a new save. Yes, I want to save. And now we can go into the creations menu. So we quit. Go into the creations menu. And again, we are waiting until all the graphics load up, all the spinners stop spinning, and if you have a balance in your credits, that will show up as well. Let's turn the music off. There's another option I'm going to cover off just very shortly in the options menu. This can vary. Sometimes these spinners sit here for 3 minutes. Sometimes all the graphics appear in like 10 seconds. It isn't anything to do with your internet speed. It's 100% to do with Bethesda servers. And on busy periods on the West Coast USA or UK evenings, they can get very, very congested. All right, here's another thing to check. What you should do, if you are running Anniversary Edition, you should always download all owned Creation Club creations. Now, sometimes when you install Anniversary Edition, it will automatically install all those anyway. I've had a few occasions where it told you that it installed them all, but in fact it didn't. So let me just do that now because, for example, I tried to install JK Skyrim Interiors, which depended on Creation Club creations to be installed, and it said it was missing something. I just, for the life of me, couldn't understand why. Until I did all this, sure you wanted to load. And there we go. It's re-downloading, I think, all of them again, just to make sure. No, here we go. So there was actually 4 or 5 creations that weren't installed with the main clean install of Skyrim that I did just earlier today. Interesting. So I've just learned something myself. So just checking our load order. Here it is as we left it. But I've added the no main menu music. So now, with my trusty keyboard installed, what are we going to do? We're going to make the roads a bit better. We're going to put some lovely farmhouses in. We're going to put a nice mountain pack in to make the rocks better. Some 3D plants and flora, some new grass, and get rid of some of those ugly default shrubs. So let's just go that. Now I'm just going to use my keywords using the trick of shortcuts. So really blended should come up with really blended roads. PS5, yes it does. Sometimes you can save a step by, after downloading the mod you're after, the subsequent mod you need is actually on the same page. So let me just, when this is downloaded, go back, press the back key, and really blended roads, no, there it is. Rocky Mossy is what I want. I just installed that. Without having to do another search, I've installed that as well. Okay, I want the Reverence townhouses. see if that reference comes up with it. Yes, it is. Did I say town? I said I want farmhouses, not townhouses. Be nice to have a townhouse, wouldn't it? Now I want medieval mountains, but I think I'm going to have to spell out the whole thing to get it, because there are a lot of things. Yes, here is. This is a new mountain texture I found just yesterday, and it looks really, really nice. So I'm going to install that, show you what it looks like in a minute. And I want Dr. Jacopo's 3D plants free pack. To find that, it's just easy. Just type in 3D plants and you should get it. Free sample pack PS5. Perfect. Let's put that in there. Okay, let's put some grass. Well, actually, let's just put in verdant and northern as well, because we get our nice grass layer. That probably putting too much into this. This is just a tutorial, so it's not a makeover. But anyway, let's do it. Let's be cheeky. So put verdant in there. And then we want northern grass. I think I'm going to put northern grass because there are so many add-on mods called northern, so we just want to get to it straight away. That's that. What else do I want? I just want to remove those ugly default shrubs and thickets. So let me just remove ugly. Will that work? I think that will work. Yes, it does, straight away. First one. And then I want to replace the default ivy, which is lime green and quite horrible. So I just want to put that PS5 nice one on there. And then I just want to put some ivy everywhere on the roofs. And the add-on for that is green thumb, which is in my top 10 essential. We choose the vanilla roofs option. Okay, so that's our mods that just for this little makeover that we've done. So we're now going to go into the load order and just confirm. Now, here's the thing. You'll find that the 3D plants have positioned themselves to the third entry. And that's not a reason to panic. Some mod authors automatically force their add-ons to be very high up in the load order. You could try to move this up or down in different places, but it would automatically reposition itself. In that instance, I wouldn't be too concerned. It's more than likely where the author wants it to be in the right place in your load order. So we can see we have Fable Forest and the lot add-on for that. Now we've added really blended roads, rocky mossy roads, the farmhouses, medieval mountains, northern grass, and a few little bits of goodness. So what we're going to do is, let's say I want to move northern grass just below the forest. So I usually have my grasses below the forest add-ons, and I'll just move verdant there. Where we are. Fable Forest, verdant there. So that's our stack there. Now, if we exit out of this and exit out of this and search results, now let's go back into the load order. Well, there you go. It hasn't put those two where we want them to. So that's because we didn't save the load order to Bethesda. Another example is, let's just disable that, exit, go back in. It has saved disable. Okay, so this is not working the way I wanted to, but in almost all cases, if you start moving things around in your load order and you go exit the load order screen without doing the save to Bethesda, you will almost always have things move around. So let's just save that to Bethesda.net, click OK. We're now going to have this locked in. So now we can exit all the way to the menu, resync, and then the first temptation is, okay, let's do a load. We know we shouldn't do continue. Don't. You now need to exit, restart Skyrim, restart, force close Skyrim, restart the game, and then come back to this menu. Okay, so we're back in. We've restarted the game. We're going to go to load, show all the saves. It shows the new save I made last session. Load the save data. Yes. Do we want to use the save load order? No, we want to use the current load order. So we're going to do that. Okay, we're back in. Let's go outside and see what differences we made. And there we go. You can see we've got our new blended roads in. We have the rocky mossy textures which carry over to different parts. We have now the reverence farmhouses with its beautiful textures and all its wood. We have Cato's Riverwood installed. And we have our grass layers. And here are the medieval mountains. I think it's just an absolutely lovely rock texture. You can see here we have the two grasses now layered. We have all the little bits from Cato's installed. Yeah, I think they are just lovely, lovely textures. So here we go. With just a few mods, we've pretty much transformed Riverwood into something a whole lot more palatable, I should say. Dense forest, lovely layered grasses,
a dragon.
nice farmhouses.
What? What is it now, Mother?
It was as big as the mountain and black as night. It flew right.
So we have 100% checked that everything we wanted is as it is. So what do we do now? I actually probably need to replace those fences, but that's beyond the scope of this tutorial. I'm trying to keep these to, 10, 15 minutes or so. So go back into an interior
Take a seat and get the cold out.
and do a save. And again, we're going to do a new incremental save so that we have at least a minimum of 4 different saves to play with.
Feindal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep.
Oh, that Feindorf, I tell you. What a love triangle that is.
Traveler. Yeah. Someone that has seen faraway places and heard.
I'm a traveller and a modder. Right, so that's it. What have we learnt from this in terms of a quick tutorial? We've learnt how to deal with changing the menu so that you use clearer fonts and an easy interface. We've turned off the menu music in both the main menu and in the creations menu. We've learnt how to always save our load order to Bethesda every single time, so that any changes or movements are saved, and you won't get any surprises when you go back into your load order. We've also learned how to check that all our Anniversary Edition creations are definitely loaded in, and even I was surprised to find that there were 4 that were missing. So it's worth doing that check every now and again. It may be because when you install a brand new Anniversary Edition game, it doesn't actually fully download all the mods. We've also learned a trick that you use a cheap keyboard to use keywords to download mods really, really quickly. And after a little while, you will learn and memorize all these keywords and you can get a load order installed, even a large one, in a matter of minutes rather than spending an hour or so fighting your PS5 controller. So thank you for sticking with me here. I know I've probably gone on a bit longer than I should have. I'll try to keep the next tutorial a bit more succinct and shorter. Please like and subscribe to the channel and watch out for more tutorials. The next one I'm covering is how to get crisp ENB style visuals, which will be fairly short because there's not a lot involved in that. And after that, I'm going to cover off stuff like how to get dense forests, lush grasses, beautiful city and town upgrades, and lots more. All right, I'll see you in the next one, and thanks.